So let's talk about the high vibe and the low vibe and the attitude needed to transcend those lower frequencies to the high frequencies, and what it is about your energy signature and your aura. The high vibe for you is being dynamic in your energy. It's about being able to respond with a quickness and rapidness, and with this knowing where you're going and this quick movement and stimulating this like super creative energy within your environment, stimulating others along the process. That would be essentially your highest vibe. If you catch yourself in the low vibe of being stubborn and even obstinate because you might be overly critical about where other people are at, or like wondering why they can't keep up with you, or maybe you might feel like you have to do all the work on your own. So if you feel like you have to do the work on your own, that might be a sense of stubbornness of why aren't you able to collaborate or cooperate with other people. And this is no judgment. This is just simply communicating if you find yourself in these areas of a lower vibrating frequency of, and then it leads to frustration.
Yeah, your not self themes are both frustration and anger. So those can be, and again, not bad things, but just literally signposts from the universe that there's something that you need to check in with yourself. So yeah, like Lynn said, like either you're kind of overexerting your energy, you're people pleasing, you're giving into what other people need, not listening to your own needs, or you're feeling like I'm not having things that I can respond to in my environment, and therefore there's a literal frustration of energy inside me and it needs to get out.
Mm-hmm. The attitude that you need to transcend from the lower frequencies to the high frequency of being dynamic is patience. Oh my gosh.
We've already mentioned patience like 5 times.
Yeah, but this definitely applies to you, and having that trust and faith that with your patience and even slowing down to take care of yourself, that the universe will be sending those opportunities to you to respond, and that your dynamic energy will be being utilized and at the highest frequency so that you're able to mix and use alchemy amongst all of your different skills to bring creative energies to all different projects and people.
Yeah, and keep in mind too that sometimes when manifesting generators experience frustration or stuckness or energy just isn't flowing, a lot of times it's because they're saying yes to too many things that should be no. So sometimes we have to shed away the commitments and the things that we've consumed our energy and our efforts and our time with, so that we can create space within our aura so that the universe can bring us things to respond to that are yeses, right? It's like a process of showing the universe, I don't want these things, but I do want these things, and you kind of have to pass through neutral along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, too, a lot of times manifesting generators, because they're so multi-passionate and energetic, they get excited about things and they will start saying yes to lots of different things, and then like the day will come and they'll be like, oh wait, that's not lighting me up. So this is where you get to give yourself permission to not overcommit yourself, and give yourself permission to, on the day of a party, you're not really sure if you want to go to the party, give yourself permission to go to the party to even see if you want to be there or not. Because, you being at the party and not really wanting to be at the party is not doing anybody a service, but just by you, making an appearance, people are going to love your juicy magnetic energy. So it's like a win-win situation. If you're there and you want to be there, then you're lighting everybody up. And if you realize that you don't want to be there, then you get to leave and be the highest expression of yourself as well.
And also, you might get to that party and be like, no, I'm not really feeling it. And then having permission to leave and letting go of those obligations, because you could easily change your mind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to test things out to see if it is a good fit for you. And then, so a good way for you to test things out if you're going to do something in the future is visualize it. Imagine yourself doing it, and then doing it, and then seeing how that fits and seeing how that resonates with you, and then being okay with the fact that you might just leave it behind. But at least you got to try it, and you had to test it out. You got to see if that was a good fit, and if it was, great, and then you get to use that as a stepping stone, and if not, you got to try it out. You're almost like even if you don't have a third line in your profile, you do have that energy of that alchemy. You have that ability to, and we have a third line.
Experiment with things, yeah.
And we have other courses to go into the lines and the profiles and things. So if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. You have that natural energy to test the waters, go try things on, experiment, report back to the rest of us how it went, how it worked for you.
Yeah. A lot of manifesting generators I know do really well with scheduling days to be spontaneous. So it's like downtime and rest, but also just like giving yourself permission to do whatever feels right in that day, because you're kind of here to like dance with life on the material plane and like try out different things and, you know, be presented with lots of different flavors of life and creative processes and all the stuff, and like kind of take it all in and decide like what's right for you or not. Like you're a very dualistic being, like you respond well to yes or no questions very well, this or that questions. Yeah, just having those things in front of you and deciding, oh, do I want this or do I not want it?
And having people in your life asking you yes or no questions, so it gives you an option to respond to those. The more specific, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that you actually have options and choices to feel your internal response come up from within your body.
Awesome.
Yeah. So as a manifesting generator, you have superpowers and gifts. And one of those is having drive and motivation. So your internal urges definitely drive you to take action. And if it's something specific to your life and it doesn't really involve other people, honor those urges. If those urges aren't in collaboration with others or, you know, interfering with other people's plans, if the urges appear within you for your own personal well-being within your environment, honor those, listen to those, take action from those places. So that drive and motivation. If you wake up one day and you want to paint your house, go for it.
And that kind of fuels your fire and lights you up. That'll just give you energy to do all the other things and also to uplift other people too.
So the second superpower is that you have endurance. That you have the ability, because you have that motor to the throat in some shape or form, you have the ability to respond to the universe, initiate from your internal urges, to do things, to take charge in your life, and then you have the power to sustain it for a long marathon of life. You have this ability to do this day in and day out, as long as it lights your fire and it is fueling the energy within you. I've seen it happen. I have a really dear manifesting generator friend, and she is so inspiring in that she wakes up and she has this energy to take action in her life and in her environment and do things that fuels her energy and nourishes her soul by taking action. And she has that endurance to keep moving, for self-improvement, to improve her house, her career. She definitely has that ability to have endurance of the life force energy.
Yeah, you, so to speak, you wake up with like a full tank of gas, and so long as you are kind of refueling that gas tank with things that you really enjoy, that energy will continue to sustain you, and in a sense, at the end of the day, you'll kind of use up all that energy and feel really satisfied, which is your signature is satisfaction. You'll feel really satisfied about how you use and expended your energy throughout the day. But because you have the manifestor side of you, it benefits you to almost kind of switch gears at the end of the day. So you need a little bit of downtime at the end of the day after you've expended all that energy in order for you to kind of like switch into the resting gear of your day and be able to like really sleep and rest to your full capacity.
Yes. Exercise, staying active, very important for you, and whatever that looks like.
Yeah, and make it fun.
Yeah, it's make life fun. The second chakra is all about pleasure and joy and meeting life with expressions of creativity and sensuality.
Yeah. The best type of self-care is the type of self-care that you're actually excited to do. So don't do the type of exercises. Like, don't do the HIIT classes just because somebody told you that the HIIT classes are the best type of exercise. Like, if you want to do the Zumba class and the dancing class, do it. If you want to just, like, go for walks and do yoga every day because that's what makes you excited, then do it. Like, if you just, like, really enjoy rock climbing and getting outside, do it. The best type of exercise is the exercise that you'll actually be excited to do day in and day out. And the same kind of goes for food, too. You have to be kind of, like, excited by your food also.
Mm-hmm. And notice your sounds if you make any noises.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely making noises, because those will be clues for you of what lights up your energy.
So your third superpower is that you are a creator. So you naturally have a ton of fluid and creative energy. And again, this is tied to whatever your interests and passions are. So it's less about being the worker bee or being the builder for everybody else, and more about you creating whatever makes sense for you and following your passions in that moment.
You are the creator.
So one of the challenges of being a manifesting generator is, as we've already talked about a bunch, is kind of curating patience, because you do things a lot faster than other people do. The second challenge for the manifesting generator is setting boundaries. And this is really important because people rely on you for your energy. And you may have noticed as a kid that people relied on you to do certain tasks or to uplift other people. So it's really important for you to set boundaries and become clear about how much energy that you have, because people are going to be really magnified and attracted to your energy. Also be wary of people-pleasing, because you were likely conditioned as a kid that because people relied on you for your energy, you may have been praised for doing tasks that were less than ideal or not necessarily what you wanted to do. So you may have learned that, like, you expending your energy had to be like a self-sacrificing thing, when really your magnetism comes from you responding to things that really light you up, and that's how you create that positive momentum of life force energy continuing to generate within you so that you can uplift other people. So understanding that we actually live in a win-win universe, and when you spend most of your energy doing things that light you up, that it also rewards everybody around you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the third challenge for you is managing and understanding and listening to your gut response and your internal urges and taking action from those internal urges. This is just one of those things where you have to navigate. It's almost a little bit like waiting to respond to others in relationships. The initiating from your ideas and thoughts is in relationships to other people. Instead of bringing them an idea and trying to initiate them into action, it's like you wait for the right time and place to have them come to you. It will naturally happen. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And they will listen to their own internal urges. Say if they're a manifestor, a pure manifestor, they will naturally initiate you into having an opportunity to respond. And that's how you know that the universe is in cahoots with you to collaborate your ideas and bring your ideas to life.
Yeah, and you're always going to have that balance between urges and initiating and then responding, and you're also going to have that balance of like that quickness that leads you to evolving your process, and then also kind of slowing down enough to engage with other people. And I know, like, with personal life experience, my brother, as I've said, is a manifesting generator. My stepdad is a generator, and I can't tell you how many times they would get in fights about just like how to do the yard work. Because my stepdad really likes to stick to his process. He knows what works for him, and my brother is always trying to tweak things, do multiple things at once, refine the process. So he would mow the lawn and get it all done and get it all pretty, but it wouldn't be the way that my stepdad wanted to do it. So it's really just balancing working with the other types and acknowledging that we all have a piece, which is all something that we can work on, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of self-awareness to slow down just enough to come into work and play with the other types.
Yeah, and this is all part of the process and practice of that we are all unique and different. We all have different gifts to share, and recognizing that we can do this all interdependently with each other, and that we are all pieces of this unique human puzzle that we find ourselves playing with each other in. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that all of your questions have been answered. And if you have any lingering questions, we have a comment section within this course that you are able to reach out to us and tell us your story and connect on another level so that we can all learn from each other, because this is all part of the process.
Thank you.
Thank you.